Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of the Forest Lake Morning Show. I am Tyler.
I'm also Tyler.
Today we're going to be talking about TikTok.
Today we're talking about TikTok.
As promised.
Go ahead and tell me about a little bit about TikTok over there, Tyler.
Well, so we talked about it last week. We touched on it a little bit.
We did.
And we decided there's enough content. There's enough worthy content to make a full episode on it.
I think there's so much content regarding it. You can make a plethora of episodes on it. But for what we have gathered here today, it is worth talking about for an episode to expand upon last week.
Yeah. And so with TikTok, we're primarily just focusing on music.
Yes.
So let's dive in. I think we have some cool stuff for today.
Mm-hmm.
So TikTok is huge. It's massive, right? And for music, it's the perfect platform for music. There's so many viewers on there. It's crazy. So I have a stat for you.
Okay.
In 2021, there were roughly like 430-ish songs that surpassed 1 billion views.
On TikTok.
Yeah, which is crazy to think. Just a quick billion views.
Yeah.
You know? And I think like half of those or so went up to like 20 billion views.
431 songs that are like accompanied from a dance trend or like some virality.
Yeah, and like you kind of imagine like you have one little clip of your song, like a little 15-second clip of your song, and it's being like one user goes on TikTok, and how many times do they hear that same song?
Right. True.
Dozens.
So what's interesting to me is that I think that shows you that there's no rules on what can create a trend, specifically with music.
TikTok's the Wild West.
TikTok is like the Wild West. It really is. And like we mentioned last week, it's shaping the industry. And to kind of expand upon that with what you just said, what comes to mind is Lizzo dropped a song called About Damn Time, which is
that was
now
a big
huge,
one.
right? In a minute, I'm gonna need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up. It's actually
I was
really
just
cool.
singing that.
It's really catchy.
Yeah.
But now here's a stat to expand upon what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay. When that song was released in April off the album, which I think I even watched her on Hot Ones with
She was on Hot Ones?
yeah, what's that dude's name?
Oh.
Hot Ones with God, I can't believe I could forget his name. He's really cool.
Sean Evans.
Sean Evans.
Yeah.
So she said that that was like one of the last songs to come during the making of the album. She finished the lyrics like weeks before she had to turn in the masters. Anyway, that album released in April of this year, 2022. It debuted at 74 on the global Billboard 200, which is a charting system, and actually could be an episode where we explain how that works. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
In week 2, guess what? It fell to 133. Now, because of TikTok, a dance trend was created with that, right? That classic verse 2. That's verse 2, not even the first verse.
Right.
In a minute, I'm gonna need a sentimental. A dance trend was created to it. It immediately shot up to number 12.
From what? 130?
From 133 in week 2. It went to number 12, I think, in week 3. Then week 4 it went to 10, and then it went to number 6. And then I don't know where it went after that. It just then became very viral and very well known. So
it's crazy.
That is the power of TikTok. You know?
Yeah.
And I think to even say one more thing real quick is that I think why people are having problems with the industry, more or less, is that it seems as though songs are almost being made for TikTok to become viral.
Yeah, that's actually like a thing. And so like people are curating their songs to be TikTok viral songs.
Which is terrible.
It's terrible. Yeah. Also, something that's interesting with that is labels. I think last week we touched on like TikTok is kind of doing the job for a music label of promotion, getting exposure and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Labels now have like TikTok teams, like divisions, where their job is to like sit on TikTok and watch the trends, see what new artist is coming out.
Curators, if you will. Right?
Curators.
They're TikTok curators. Here's another little story. And maybe this is what we should be doing. Okay, so I'll tell you why. This kid named Spencer Stewart was on TikTok, and he produced his own music, like us. You know, I don't know what kind of genre it was.
Okay.
Maybe hip hop, whatever, rap. So not our style, but he wanted to get more traction, so he would plug his songs into these videos where he would explain how like artists became to be. So he did one with a story about Juice WRLD and the rise of Juice WRLD, and then he would tie his music into it in hopes that people would watch the video for Juice WRLD, but then at the end they would see his music. So he was plugging
Pretty
his
sneaky.
music into a little sneaky, a little creative though.
I like that.
Now he found his niche here. Okay, he ended up realizing that people just really liked hearing about the rise of artists and the deep dives, something that we've even considered talking about. But he was doing it in a very good way with the TikTok short video format. And he ended up putting his music aside to just do this, and now he has become paid by music labels to push and promote their artists.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So he's literally getting paychecks to curate music for these major labels because he's become popular.
I
on
saw
TikTok.
somewhere like they pay thousands for one post.
I wouldn't be surprised. They have the money. I don't know if it's. I mean, depending on who it is and how much popularity they have, maybe it could be hundreds.
Yeah,
But I
Yeah, for
certainly
sure.
believe thousands too.
but it's crazy. Like you have someone who has, millions of followers, right, on TikTok,
Yeah.
and it's like an immediate million listens, million views, a million people being exposed to that new artist.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I feel like the crazy thing about TikTok is the view thing, because you can have the like be 500,000, which is mind blowing, but then you see
But the views like a billion.
the views a billion. You're like,
Yeah.
geez Louise. Now,
Yeah.
how much of that do people actually sit there and watch compared to what counts as a view according to the platform's rules? But
Yeah, that's a good question.
mind blowing stuff. Yeah, with the exposure is insane.
Yeah, I wonder, like, do you have to watch the end? Because you always see, like, they'll put on there, like, the last one is very cool, like, watch till the end.
Yeah.
Like, they're trying to entice you to, like, sit through the whole video.
Yeah, well, it's like with Spotify, what counts as a listen? 30 seconds of a song, I think.
Something like that, 20
And
or
then
30 seconds.
YouTube has the same thing. What counts as a play?
Yep.
How long for a view to watch?
Yeah. I think another thing that's pretty cool. So, last week we talked about Apple Music and Spotify, and specifically, like, ways of discovering new music with, like, Spotify's playlist recommendations and all that. People use TikTok. People use TikTok to find new songs.
Yeah.
I feel like they're not really searching Spotify as much anymore. It's more so like you're just scrolling on TikTok and you get that one song that you've scrolled, 100 times and you've heard the same song like 15 times and it's stuck in your head and you're like, oh, let me go to Spotify and search that.
So is it because they're choosing to use TikTok for it, or because they're already just so addicted to TikTok?
It's already there, man. It's already in place.
They're not even the time spent on TikTok overtakes everything else, like Spotify and Apple Music. Which is why we also mentioned that's why we brought this up, because it is probably going to shift into a music streaming platform entirely by its own to compete with Apple Music and Spotify, which isn't a bad thing, right? You don't want a monopoly in the market, but at the same time, TikTok, I don't know, it is such a beast of an animal that has changed the industry with these things that we're talking about. You know what I mean?
You ever see like the open verse challenges that are kind of...
What do you mean?
So, like, an artist will play their song and they'll play it without their vocals for like a verse or a chorus.
Oh, yeah,
and put it out there
Yeah.
and see like who can do it better.
Yes.
Like if someone can do it
Oh,
better.
it's creative.
Yeah, so
is
it's
cool.
kind of a new way
Yeah.
per se to write a song. Have it put out there for a billion people and see if they can write the verse better than you did. And like Ryan Tedder does this a lot. I know he did it for a couple One Republic songs, and right now he's working with Lucas Graham doing the open verse challenge.
Lucas
Crazy.
Graham needs Ryan Tedder right now.
I guess, but it's not even him.
Where did
They're
Lucas
just putting
Graham
it
go?
out.
I'm so sorry, but where did Lucas Graham go, man? He
Hey.
dropped that one song called 7 Years Old.
Yeah,
7 years. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, phenomenal.
Classic.
And Lucas Graham's got a voice. I only know that one song. I never really appealed to him as an artist, but to me, he seemed like he fell off. God, if he's working with Ryan Tedder, be ready for a Lucas Graham comeback. I'm telling you, Ryan Tedder will do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry to take off on that tangent a little bit there. So
was good.
they do an open verse challenge, is what you're saying, on TikTok,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's good. I haven't seen it. I'm not on TikTok.
There are some really good
Wait,
takes on it.
You're on TikTok, just to
No,
let,
I'm not.
let us all know.
I'm not on TikTok.
How do you know this is going on?
Insta Reels. Pretty much
He's
TikTok.
on TikTok through. He's on TikTok through Instagram. Okay.
Yeah. But no, Ryan Tedder was doing that a while back. And like a ton of artists are doing it now.
Okay.
But he was even saying like people come back with melodies that are just so good. Like so good. He was like,
Well, yeah.
it kind of shows you up a little bit. Like you think you wrote this really great verse melody or chorus melody, and then some dude in India writes a better.
Makes a better one.
Yeah,
I think
it's awesome though.
what that shows you is how there will be so many talented people out there that never have that it factor or that timing or the luck to break the industry, in a sense, where they become commercially successful, well-known, famous artists. But they're even better than any artist that is well-known and famous. That's what comes to mind when you tell me that. You have these artists where they can use TikTok. Anybody can blow up on TikTok. We've seen it.
True.
People that were nobodies.
And it's not like genre specific.
It's not.
It's literally just so random. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
you know.
But you're able to access so much talent in a whole new way.
It's also a lot of people doing like remixes in a way, or
Yeah.
altering a song
Right.
to make it better, or not better, but for like what did they do? Viva La Vida, Coldplay, where they just like
Mashed
slowed it
up
down.
with,
They like slowed it down and made it like really dark sounding, and it's cool.
and they did
Fits
the
the
they-
videos.
well, they mashed it up with that other song, that hip hop song. Is what you're referencing? I've seen that.
Did they?
They do Viva La Vida mash up with that. Oh shit!
Oh, I don't think I've heard that.
You know what I'm talking about?
How do you know this?
I was on TikTok at one point and I saw it, but also when I was on Instagram at one point too, and that you see so much TikTok on Instagram, which is a
Yeah.
problem that we'll get to at the end of this episode with some negatives of TikTok. What I will say too, when you talk about remixes, so this is tying in the remix factor that make things go popular, as well as how pretty much nobodies have become popular on TikTok. We've seen massive artists that we know of today who blew up on TikTok. Ty Verdes is one.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Driver's license. That was everywhere.
There's probably so many we're not going to be able to mention because it's just crazy how insane it is. But another one is Lil Nas X actually blew up on TikTok. And this is an interesting story tying in that remix factor. So in 2019, I think that song came out. And this was without Billy Ray Cyrus or like it wasn't even on Spotify. What it was, here's what the cool story was. Okay, so Lil Nas X found that beat on BeatStars. Now, the guy that produced that song was some 19-year-old kid from Amsterdam by the name of Young Keo. If I'm saying that right, Young Keo. I think his actual name's like Kiowa Rukima is his name. It's very Asian,
Okay.
isn't it? I don't know. I think he actually is Asian, but he was living in Amsterdam. Don't quote me on any of this, except on the nationality that he is. 19-year-old kid living in Amsterdam. He saves up $200 to buy a BeatStars account, like whatever the premium one or what it was or whatever. So he throws up this beat, which is actually a sample of a 9 Inch Nails song called 34 Ghosts 4, IV 4.
Mm-hmm.
And Lil Nas X comes across it, buys it for $30. I mean, this is insane. Buys it for $30.
And then makes how much money off of it?
And then he writes Old Town Road to it. Now,
Yeah.
the producer loved it. He's like, hey, like we got to do something with this. Like, this sounds so cool. Because I think Lil Nas X did put a country spin to it. So they throw it up on SoundCloud. It only surpasses like 7,000 plays. But they were like, no, we're just going to keep promoting this and promoting it. So they go to Instagram and they go to TikTok to start promoting it. And I think they just were able to promote it and create a trend. And then what happened is it blew up. And then in comes record label, like out of nowhere, out of thin air. They just showed, they're like, oh, wow. Because I think Lil Nas X was like one of the first ones to kind of really become viral on TikTok. Or to the biggest extent, because he is a well-known artist at this point now.
What year was that?
2019.
2019.
Yeah, so 2019 I think is when this blew up on TikTok, and then this label comes in, his label that he's probably still with, and they then get Billy Ray Cyrus on it and then remix it with him or feature it with him and probably reproduce it. And then you have that massive hit that everybody knows. But it was because of TikTok, in a sense, that it became so viral.
That's crazy.
It's
What do you think happened to the kid who produced the beat?
Oh, so Lil Nas X he said if this blows up, you're coming with me, which I thought was really cool.
Did he actually take him?
I think so too. Yeah. I think cool. I think they still work together. I think he has respect for the fact that this kid vitalized his career in a way with this beat.
Yeah.
So he brought him along.
I mean, imagine just like you buy a $30 beat from a dude, blow up and make millions off of it, and then just never talk to him. Don't give him credit.
Yeah, that would suck. Now, BeatStars does have a good contract. I think in the original contract, mind you too, when this blew up, Nine Inch Nails and Trent Reznor did pass off on the. They share credits and they cleared it because obviously it's sampled off that song. But imagine that. Okay, you're just for more or less, I don't want to say nobody, but you're a nobody in the music industry, right? Like we're what we are, or what a lot of independent bands that want to be big are, you know. And that's a whole other concept, which we still have to talk about with what is success in the industry, because it varies. But you freaking buy a $30 beat on BeatStars, write Old Town Road to it, and then use TikTok to promote it and have it explode. Because like I said earlier, there are no rules to what can become a trend on that platform, whether it's a song or a visual. True. And then next thing you know, it blows up. Just like Lizzo did with her song going from 133 on the top Billboard 200 in week 2 to freaking number 12 the following week. And then next thing you know, labels are knocking on your door to sign you.
It's the power of TikTok, man. It's a very powerful platform. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know how we were researching a little bit on One Republic the other night? Mm-hmm. Was MySpace for them the TikTok for us now?
Yeah, probably. So
you know what I mean?
One Republic kind of blew up on MySpace, right?
Yeah.
And
huge on MySpace in 2007.
Yeah, so it's social media. Really, like the new age of social media is changing a lot of industries, but I feel like music,
right,
in particular, it's just a new way to reach a huge audience.
It is
very quickly.
So it's really now a question of, is it abnormal? Is it bad for us, or is it just an evolutionary process for us?
Social media or TikTok?
But that TikTok, both, I guess. I mean, it's that the TikTok is our MySpace.
Yeah.
And then One Republic's MySpace was, I don't know, what was before that? The bands before social media. Yeah, I feel like before social media, you actually had to put in the work.
AOL.com.
Yeah, usually email or something, or sending in a demo to a label. Like that was the thing for a time period, or you physically send it in. I think you can still do that, but I don't think anybody does that. It is incredible, but that comes with some downsides because of social media as a whole. I think there are some bad things that we can discuss here with TikTok.
Yeah, I don't want to get like super into it, but like.
Yeah, it's not that we hate TikTok, even though we're not on it, because personally I don't like it for a lot of these reasons. But
right. But like people are fine with it. People are like, take all my data. It's fine. Get my song big. But okay, so
just jump into it.
Yeah, with TikTok, I don't want to say steals. They collect a lot of your data, your personal data, and so this can include like your keystroke patterns. So like. Everything that you're doing on the app, they can see, they could track. Biometric stuff. So this includes your face prints. So it's scanning your face. Voice prints. Mm-hmm. It can hear you. Your location or your IP address on like all of your devices that you have TikTok downloaded on.
Yeah.
It can tell what kind of device it is. Your mobile carrier for that device. What you're viewing and how long you're viewing it for. Are you zoomed in? What are you zoomed in on? What are you looking at? And then anything assigned to like your clipboard, like if you copy something, a text, video, whatever it might be, they can see it and they can collect it.
Right. This isn't something new, by the way. This is something that has really kind of existed at the turn of Facebook. And there was a part where Facebook realized that they can change their business model to make money off of advertising, which is what has started this whole data collection, this
Right.
privacy invasion for people using the platform.
And I think the problem with TikTok though is it's owned by ByteDance, which is a Chinese company,
Right. There's
And
people believe there's
has
a
ties to the Chinese Communist Party, and so it's kind of like
security threat for the
it's
country.
espionage. Yeah.
Yeah. Now TikTok, we mentioned this in last week's episode. We'll mention it again. They have executives that have come out to say none of this is true, especially with what China particularly is able to access from American content. And certainly I believe China wouldn't want their people to see our content. I know there is, like you talked about, location based. So it's because they track your location, they're showing you they're showing you content in your location, which
Sure.
cause for concern if you're not about privacy invasion. But read their privacy policy, TikToks. It's that thing that everyone skips.
Yeah, we're not saying like don't get a TikTok.
Yeah,
but just
don't get a
be
TikTok.
aware
But if you wanted
what
to be
they're
aware,
doing.
if you're not already aware, it is incredibly scary what they're doing. Okay, their privacy policy even states that they don't need your consent to track your data. They also state that they can third-party track all of your apps. So TikTok allows you to log in through Apple ID or Instagram or Facebook, I think.
Mm-hmm.
With that ability, they can track everything you do on Facebook, everything they do on Instagram, even Snapchat, because their Facebook owns Snapchat. So just think about that now. So say you're doing something on Facebook that you think you don't even realize nobody's tracking this shit. Well, not only is Facebook tracking it, but TikTok is also going to be aware of that to better their algorithms because you allowed them to by signing up through Facebook. It's a loophole in the system, and they also do this with network traffic where they can track cookies from anything you visit on the website, basically to better their algorithm. And why do they do this? If you really want to know, because like I said, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product.
You are the product.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
To these apps, users are the product that they are selling to advertisers, right? When you see ads, I think there's ads on TikTok now, right? Just as there are on Instagram.
Well, I don't know. Probably.
Yeah. There's got to be. We don't know because we're not on it. But these apps make billions from advertisements because these advertisements are tailoring their products or the algorithms are tailoring products to what you want to see based off content that you like, things you search, how long you view things, everything that you explain.
It's crazy. And there's been a lot of push
insane.
to get it off of like the US app stores,
Yeah.
but I feel like that's been going on for a while. So I don't know if that's actually going to
I don't think it will.
go
I think
through.
it's too popular. It's too huge. That's why we haven't seen any change really up to this point with any social media laws and regulations for big tech companies that do this. We still haven't. It's been an issue going on for over a decade. Every time Facebook gets in a new hot seat moment of something bad they've done, they can just basically
just rebrand.
they
Hey, we're Meta
rebrand
now.
or they're able to just get around it because the laws just aren't against them.
Yeah.
And then you ask the question, well, how do you write a law or regulation to regulate something so massive? Something that has like Facebook, I think has 2 billion users, and it's now kind of fading away.
Monthly.
Yeah,
I think it's around 1 billion monthly.
this is like unbelievable how huge these things are.
Yeah.
Bigger than any other industry.
Yep.
You know, and that's what makes it very difficult.
And that's why it's great to promote your music on it.
And that's why it's great to promote your music on. Yeah. I think we sound like very Debbie Downers over here. We are just here to spread information and share information as it relates to music because TikTok is becoming such a music heavy platform and shaping the industry. We are going to share you the good and the bad with it and our opinions. Like we're not on it. We're not going to tell you not to be on it.
Yep.
We just want you to know. I think knowledge is very important and being aware of things is super important. So do with that what you will. Certainly, yeah, I mean, maybe we're in the wrong, right, as artists. I remember
It could be.
I remember being, when I was still in Cleveland, people were like, oh, you got to be on TikTok. You're not going to be anything if you're not on TikTok. Bro, you know what?
It's sad that's what
Dude,
it's
come
come
on.
down to.
You know what I'm
People just
saying?
telling you that. Like,
That is terrible.
It's crazy.
And maybe it's true. Maybe like if you put, it makes sense, right? It's an opportunity. It's a door of opportunity to get your stuff exposed.
hey, that's 1 billion people a month that could potentially view your music.
Yeah,
Which
it is.
You're kind of like, I don't want to say you're dumb not to do it, but it's an open door that's free to use.
Yes. But for us right now, we just don't need to be on it. I think for personal reasons, and then also, one, we're still working on our album, so there's nothing to put out there now anyway. We don't need to share. Maybe this podcast would be a good thing, but
we have to have songs to promote.
Yeah. When this gets to a certain level and we have a whole team behind us and we're like Sean Evans Hot Ones, where we got, started from the bottom, now we're here. I feel like that's how we started, right? Just in like a, I don't know, bedroom with wings and hot sauce. Come on over. No, that had to have already started off pretty.
Yeah, you
pretty
can't
good.
invite someone.
You can't just invite celebrities over as a nobody.
That doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, regardless, when this thing gets very well, then we will have a whole team who can do that for us. That's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. At the end of the day, do with it all this knowledge what you will. TikTok is great for as good as it is, and is also bad for as bad as it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if that made any sense, but in here it made a lot of sense.
I think that wraps up this episode.
That's how you know it. That's how you know I need my coffee that I don't have. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, everybody. I am Tyler. This is also Tyler signing off here on today's episode of the Forest Lake Morning Show. Thank you for joining us as always, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
See ya.
Peace out.